to discover your new favorite Canadian city. First up, we're off to Toronto, the Big Smoke. This city is like that friend who always has to be the center of attention, and you know what? They totally pull it off. Toronto is a global hub for business, culture, and entertainment. Imagine New York City with a touch more politeness and a whole lot more poutine. Speaking of diversity, Toronto is a melting pot of cultures. You can wander through Chinatown, Little Italy, or Greek Town, all in one afternoon. It's like a delicious trip around the world without the jet lag. And let's not forget the iconic CN Tower. It's practically a Canadian rite of passage to take a selfie with this towering landmark. Just try not to drop your phone while you're at it. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost of living. Toronto is known for its sky-high rents, but darling, haven't you heard? Living in the heart of it all comes at a price. Think of it this way, you're paying for the privilege of having everything at your doorstep. World-class restaurants? Tick. Buzzing nightlife? Tick. A never-ending calendar of events? Tick, tick, tick. Of course, if you're on a tighter budget, there are more affordable options further out from the city center, but be warned, you might have to swap your morning latte for a Tim Hortons. Scandalous, I know. But listen, whether you're a high-flying executive or a struggling artist, Toronto has a way of working its magic on you. Just be prepared to remortgage your house or your parents' house. Next, we're whisking you away to Vancouver, a city so beautiful it should be illegal. Nestled between the Pacific Ocean and the coastal mountains, Vancouver is like the love child of a postcard and a nature documentary. Imagine waking up to the smell of fresh ocean air and the sight of snow-capped mountains. Sounds dreamy, doesn't it? Well, in Vancouver, that's just another Tuesday. And speaking of dreams, if you're a fan of the great outdoors, you'll be in heaven. Hiking, biking, skiing, kayaking. Vancouver has it all. It's enough to make even the most dedicated couch potato want to put on their hiking boots. But Vancouver isn't all about nature. Oh no, darling. This city has a sophisticated side too. Think world-class dining, chic boutiques, and a thriving arts and culture scene. Of course, living in paradise doesn't come cheap. Vancouver's real estate market is hotter than a habanero pepper, and the cost of living isn't far behind. But listen, you're not just paying for a roof over your head, you're paying for the privilege of breathing in that fresh mountain air and rubbing shoulders with Lululemon-clad yoga enthusiasts. Now, if you're not quite ready to sell a kidney for a one-bedroom apartment, there are more affordable options further out from the city center. You might even be able to afford a parking spot. Imagine that. But let's be honest, even if you have to live on ramen noodles and instant coffee, Vancouver is worth every penny. Just don't tell your landlord I said me. It'll get you far. Now let's talk about the cost of living, because who doesn't love a good bargain? In Montreal, you can actually afford to enjoy yourself without having to live on ramen noodles. Imagine that. Rent is surprisingly reasonable, especially compared to those sky-high prices in Toronto and Vancouver. And when it comes to entertainment, Montreal delivers. We're talking festivals galore, live music on every corner, and enough museums and art galleries to satisfy even the most cultured among us. And the best part? You won't have to remortgage your house to enjoy it all, but it's not all about the price tag, darling. Montreal has a certain je ne sais quoi, a certain joie de vivre, if you will. It's a city that embraces life, love, and laughter. And who wouldn't want a piece of that? So there you have it, my friends. Montreal, a city where you can have your croissant and eat it too. Now who's up for a game of how much cheaper is it to live in Montreal? Don't worry, I'll go easy on you. Next stop on our Canadian adventure, Calgary. Now some of you might be thinking cowboys and oil rigs, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. But Calgary, my dears, is so much more than just Stetsons and Spurs. Nestled at the foothills of the majestic Rocky Mountains, Calgary offers breathtaking scenery that'll make you want to yodel from the rooftops. And speaking of rooftops, you'll find some rather swanky ones here, as Calgary boasts a thriving economy and a surprisingly cosmopolitan vibe. But don't worry, it hasn't lost its friendly small-town charm. Calgary is the kind of place where people still greet you with a smile and hold the door open for you. And where else can you go from a business meeting to a hiking trail in under an hour? Talk about the best of both worlds, so dust off your cowboy boots and get ready for a rootin' tootin' good time in Calgary, where the air is fresh, the people are friendly, and the opportunities are as vast as the prairie sky. Now, let's talk Turkey, or should I say loonies. Calgary's cost of living is surprisingly manageable, especially when you consider the stunning scenery and career opportunities on offer. You can find a decent flat without having to sell a kidney, which is always a bonus, right? And the best part? You'll have plenty of cash left over to enjoy all that Calgary has to offer. From skiing in the Rockies to exploring the city's vibrant arts and culture scene, you'll be spoilt for choice. And did I mention the Stampede? It's only the greatest outdoor show on earth. But Calgary's appeal goes beyond just the bottom line. It's a city with a real sense of community, where people work hard and play harder. And there's a certain entrepreneurial spirit here that's infectious. It's a city on the rise, my dears, and there's never been a better time to be a part of it. So if you're looking for a city with big city amenities and a small town heart, Calgary is calling your name. Just don't forget your cowboy hat. Well, hello there, Ottawa. Now I know what you're thinking. Ottawa, isn't that where all the politicians hang out? And yes, you wouldn't be wrong. As Canada's capital city, Ottawa is home to Parliament Hill, the Rideau Canal, a UNESCO World Heritage Site no less, and more museums than you can shake a hockey stick at. But before you dismiss it as a city filled with stuffy suits and boring bureaucracy, let me tell you, Ottawa is full of surprises. It's a city that's constantly evolving, with a thriving tech scene, a burgeoning foodie culture, and enough festivals and events to keep even the most discerning socialite entertained. And let's not forget about the natural beauty, darling. Ottawa is surrounded by stunning parks, waterways, and green spaces, making it a haven for outdoor enthusiasts. You can go from kayaking on the Ottawa River to browsing art galleries in the Byward Market in a matter of minutes. Talk about having it all. Now, I know what you're thinking. All this sounds lovely, Graham, but can I afford it? Well, my frugal friends, you'll be pleased to know that Ottawa offers a surprisingly affordable cost of living, especially when compared to some of its larger, more boisterous neighbors. You can find a charming flat without having to sell your firstborn, and the cost of entertainment won't leave you weeping into your wallet. Plus, with its excellent public transportation system, you can ditch the car and save even more loonies. But Ottawa's appeal goes beyond just the bottom line. It's a city with a strong sense of community where people are friendly, the streets are safe, and the pace of life is refreshingly laid back. It's the kind of place where you can actually have a conversation with your barista without feeling rushed. Remember those? So if you're looking for a city with a small-town vibe and big city amenities, look no further than Ottawa. It's the perfect place to raise a family, launch a career, or just enjoy the good life without the big city price tag. And who knows, you might even bump into Justin Trudeau at the local coffee shop. Just don't ask him about his socks, he's probably heard that one before. Bonjour! We're off to Quebec City where they speak French, the pastries are divine, and the history goes back centuries. Imagine strolling down cobblestone streets, the scent of freshly baked croissants wafting through the air. And the architecture. Forget modern skyscrapers, darling, we're talking castles and cathedrals that wouldn't look out of place in a fairy tale. It's like taking a little European vacation without the jet lag. But let's be honest, who doesn't love a bargain? Quebec City is surprisingly affordable, especially compared to its big city siblings like Toronto and Vancouver. You can actually afford to buy a decent bottle of wine with dinner. So if you fancy yourself a bit of a romantic, a history buff, or just someone who enjoys a slower pace of life and a good croissant, Quebec City might just steal your heart. Now you might think that a city steeped in history would be stuck in the past, but darling, Quebec City knows how to have a good time. They have festivals galore, celebrating everything from winter to wine. And the food scene? Ooh la la! French cuisine is known for its richness and flavor, and Quebec City doesn't disappoint. Think hearty stews, creamy cheeses, and pastries so good they should be illegal. But let's not forget about the great outdoors. Quebec City is surrounded by stunning natural beauty. You can hike in the mountains, go whale watching, or simply relax by the St. Lawrence River. So there you have it, darling. Quebec City is a delightful mix of old-world charm and modern-day amenities. It's a city where you can truly immerse yourself in another culture without breaking the bank. Ahoy there, mateys! We're setting sail for Halifax, a city that's as charming as a sea shanty and as refreshing as a salty ocean breeze. Imagine yourself strolling along the waterfront, the smell of the sea air filling your lungs, the sound of seagulls overhead. Halifax is a city that embraces its maritime heritage, and you can feel it in the air. But don't let the laid-back vibe fool you, darling. Halifax has a vibrant cultural scene with live music, theater, and art galleries galore. And let's not forget the seafood. Fresh lobster, anyone? So, if you're looking for a city with a small-town feel, big city amenities, and a whole lot of heart, Halifax might just be the place for you. Now you might be thinking, Halifax sounds lovely, Graham, but can I afford it? Well, my frugal friend, you'll be pleased to know that Halifax is one of the most affordable cities in Canada. That's right, you can actually afford to buy a house without having to sell your internal organs on the black market. And the cost of living is surprisingly reasonable too. But let's not forget about the adventures that await. Halifax is the perfect base for exploring the stunning Atlantic coastline. Go whale watching, visit historic Peggy's Cove, or simply relax on one of the many beautiful beaches. So there you have it, darling. Halifax is a city that has it all: affordability, culture, history, and natural beauty. What more could you ask for?